who can only be the artist of you. What does the picnic basket analogy mean? Is the basket full of food, figuratively speaking?
Yeah. Well, I think if we're a blank canvas at the beginning, Luke, that's what I mean. And you seize your paintbrush or whatever it is, get some training, and you put down your various designs, right? And I believe that we are slowly uncovering, mentally we're slowly uncovering ourselves till we're maybe 20 or so, and then you realize, that you're free, Luke. I mean, given that you're who you are physically, the rest is up to you to a very large extent, right? Not saying that you're going to be successful on the journey, but you have this package. Your suitcase is filled. You could buy some of those. In Canada, you could always go to one of the shops and you could buy a picnic basket. And in the picnic basket, they give you the plates and they give you the napkins and they give you various things, but they don't fill it with the food. They don't give you the bottle of wine and the various snacks, and you have to do that yourself. And so I think that's what you're given at 20. You're given a picnic basket filled with plates and cups, and you actually have the napkins and you have the tablecloth for the ground and what have you, and then you have to put in the food, and then you have to prepare the food, and then you of course have to eat the food. So that's a different thing. But you're given those gifts. But you gotta open the picnic basket, Luke. That's the problem. You gotta look in there. Oh, I got enough plates, right? Oh, I don't have enough cups. Gotta add a few cups, like this.
Why should we plan for a worst-case scenario?
But I like to plan for the downside, so to speak, because it never happens, right? The downside in my experience in life has very rarely happened to me. The worst situation, whatever it may or may not be, I'm going to fail the test. I've had this happen more than once in my life. I'm going to fail the test, and I got an extremely high score. I think we've all had that experience. But I anticipate the down because I found that in life, when I've been naively optimistic, I've greatly suffered for it. I never planned for failure. So now I plan for failure. It's more, for my type of personality, it's more comfortable. It's a what's the last position I could hold? I can retrench to what point, right? And that's the reason for expertise, Luke. What is expertise? Expertise means that they can take everything away from you. They can take all your money, painful it would be, your position, your clothes, and they can throw you into the street, and you could start again. I could start again, Luke, I have no doubt, no doubt. I would suffer, and I would scream a bit, and I would lament the fact that I've been badly treated, and blah, blah, blah. But then I would get a little bit angry, and I would count on some of my friends, of course, hopefully, and I would start again. And that's what you want, right? I believe. I don't think I'm unique in these thoughts.
What is the book Tuesday with Morrie about?
Reading a passage from Tuesdays with Morrie yesterday. I believe it's a chapter on regret. It talks about regrets. And most assuredly, my position allows me to know that I am going to die. There's no maybe. There's no hopefully for internal life. I'm going to die. This being is going to die. What happens after that is another question, perhaps. But in this reality, I'm going to die, right? So knowing that, there's no worry about it. I'm not planning to die. I know it. So now I can get down to work when I'm alive, right? I don't suffer over fear of death,
Many people die, speaking of death, many people die without achieving their dreams and are buried with their potentiality.
Yeah.
And you say we should bring our greatness out into the world. It's our life mission, using your words.
Yeah.
What if people say there is no greatness for us to bring out into the world? It's just a illusion. What do you say?
Well, that's Todd Henry. He talks a lot about die empty, right? It's this concept. Get it all out. I think I'd have to refer back to Dr. Frankl, and he says that everyone has a mission. Each of us even the lowest cockroach has a mission in life, right? And I think human beings are very similar to that. That we all have something to accomplish. We all, I mean, my diamond, potentially my diamond's very small, but it can still be, when polished, it can still be very beautiful, right? I mean, whose standard are you judged by? Your own, in theory, right? So, let's take my mother. My mother is, 90, 89? And she would consider herself a successful woman. She was married 52 years. She has 5 children. They're all successful in their own ways, you know. I mean, who's to say my mother wasn't the president of Ford Motor Corporation? And that was another level of success, you know. So I think all of us have something to accomplish, Luke. Unless, of course, I mean, I was reading recently that there is a certain level of people that have very, very limited intelligence. You know, there's maybe 10% of the overall population. Now, that's a different issue. I can't really comment on that because I don't know anyone like this, you know. Because I think even the people that sweep the streets can sweep the streets well, right? Or clean the house. I've cleaned houses. I mean, the answer is excellence, isn't it? To do it well, right? Whatever it may or may not be, right? Do it well.
What does the diamond analogy refer to?
I think I'd have to refer back to Dr. Frankl, and he says that everyone has a mission. I mean, each of us, even the lowest cockroach, has a mission in life, right? And I think human beings are very similar to that. That we all have something to accomplish. We all, I mean, my diamond, potentially my diamond's very small, but it can still be, when polished, it can still be very beautiful, right? I mean, whose standard are you judged by? Your own, in theory, right? So, let's take my mother. My mother is 90, 89? And she would consider herself a successful woman. She was married 52 years. She has 5 children. They're all successful in their own ways, you know. I mean, who's to say my mother wasn't the president of Ford Motor Corporation? And that was another level of success, you know. So I think all of us have something to accomplish, Luke.
Does everyone have a mission?
You know, Luke, all my life experiences, good and bad, have brought me to this point. And I often think in the wee hours of the morning when I lay there in bed and I reflect, you know, I had very specific careers in my life. And if I had stopped with any of those careers, you know, I would have been perhaps much, much financially wealthier, but I would not have been philosophically or spiritually wealthier, right? So by taking some chances in life, at least in my case, it's produced, you know, happiness. I'm a happy man. Still frustrated with there's more to do and more to accomplish, and I'm a human being. You know, I wake up in the morning sometimes with great angst, of course, but I know that this pattern is correct. You know, I've read this when I was younger, and it's been proven that it is true to me, right? Get on with it, so to speak, right?
Do you believe that you have something to achieve in your lifetime?
I do believe that all answers lie within, because the only person you truly know is yourself. I mean, you're taking in the, you know, external stimuli. So you have to sit and analyze your thoughts and your ideas and try to put them in perspective. I mean, the person that's going to motivate you ultimately has to be you. I mean, it's nice to have people that excite you. I mean, I've had that, gosh, but in the end, I know if I don't adopt that mission or that statement, it means nothing, right?